achieved.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to Studio de Jeffrey de Quarantine. Don't forget your hand sanitizer today, all right? Get that going. Get that going. Got to disinfect myself for this current topic. We need to talk about what's wrong with all you people. Not all of you, but a lot of you Cowboy fans. We need to talk about what's wrong with you. It's the very, very, very vocal minority. I blame social media. Like, I don't think Cowboy fans are insane or crazy. I think it's just the people who comment on things are the people who disagree, so you get all the really riled up and angry people. Stop pretending like Dak sucks. Just chill out. Okay? Chill out. And Florio, like the idea that, oh my God, the Cowboys signed Andy Dalton. Will they now rescind the franchise tag on Dak and make him a free agent? What? No. Spoiler alert, Mike. They won't, because he's franchise tagged. Holy cow. What's going to happen with Dak is they're going to go up to July 15th. That's the deadline to sign a franchise player. So they'll try to get a deal done. If they don't, what happens then? Well, you have two choices. If you're Dak, come play football and make $31 million or whatever, or sit at home like Le'Veon Bell did and make $0. Which one will Dak choose? Dak's the starting quarterback. Andy Dalton doesn't change that. If you hadn't heard, Andy Dalton's been signed to be the backup quarterback. Cooper Rush has been waived. So yes, Andy Dalton is now part of the Cowboys. He gets his deal is $3 million. There's incentives that can take it higher than that, but his deal is $3 million. Cooper Rush was set to make 2.1. So if you're insane enough now to say that Andy Dalton's here and he's going to win the quarterback job, why wasn't Cooper Rush going to win the quarterback job to you? They're making about the same money. Chill out. Just chill out. They signed a really good backup. That's what the Cowboys did on a one-year deal. Now, that's what everybody's been talking about. Is this leverage against Dak? No. In no way, shape, or form is this leverage against Dak. Dak's better than Andy Dalton. Dak's younger than Andy Dalton. Dak's going to make a lot more money than Andy Dalton. Andy Dalton's a good backup. Maybe in the Philly game last year, you could have convinced Dak. I don't know if you could have. He's a warrior. He'd want to play. But maybe if you had a good backup quarterback, when your quarterback couldn't throw the entire week of practice because his shoulder was jacked up, maybe Andy Dalton could go lead you to a win there, and you could go play playoff football. We got to chill out. We got to chill out with two things. One, Dak doesn't suck. He's good. Two, Andy Dalton is not here for a QB competition. Andy Dalton is not here to leverage Dak Prescott. Andy Dalton's here so that if something happens to Dak Prescott, your season doesn't go pew. That's why Andy Dalton's here. Because an opportunity presented itself to sign a good backup quarterback. And then there's the other side of it. Well, then why don't they get Dak done? They got Dalton done. If Dak wants $3 million, they'll sign him today. Front offices are fully capable of doing multiple things at once. They're trying to get the Dak deal done. They're trying. And should they have folded a long time ago and gave him the years he wanted? Sure, they should have. But they haven't. Whatever. It doesn't change the Andy Dalton thing. Andy Dalton's a good backup. You have one of the best backups in the league. Congratulations. Be happy. The Cowboys signed a guy that, if he has to play, will be the best money spent on the entire roster. So be happy and chill out. Crying out loud. Now, let's go to the people. I rely on you guys for the content. So if you enjoy this, you need to go on over to youtube.com/Jeff Cavanaugh. On the video, leave in the comments what you want to talk about tomorrow. That is where I get to pull content from. I appreciate you guys who do leave the comments. Let's see here. Nathan, he said, I'm sure safety in 2020 will be a mixed bag. That being said, do you see the Cowboys revisiting a Jamal Adams trade mid-season? Sure seems like Adams isn't keen on staying in New York. Yep. I do see them revisiting that. Now, this depends on how things go. If the Cowboys have a winning record when you start creeping towards the trade deadline, and if the Jets can tell that it's going to be a lost season, and I do anticipate both of those things happening, then you better believe the Cowboys are going to jump on that phone and be like, hey, you're getting closer and closer to that dude being gone, and you not getting anything but a comp pick for it, so you're going to get a third or fourth round pick a year later. You sure? You not ready to dance? You not ready to dance with the Jerry by the pale moonlight? I'm here. What do you want? Let's talk about it. Can I get him for less than a 1 now? Because we're getting a little closer now. We're getting close to when you got to pay him. I'm going to pay him when I trade for him. So, yeah, I think the Jamal Adams dream will be alive if the Jets are bad and the Cowboys are good. And I think both of those things are very possible because they're interested. And he's certainly interested in getting out of there, it seems like. So, Jamal Adams, yes, you may continue dreaming and monitor what happens when the actual season starts. From Unknown, which is weird. If we had a NASCAR rushing package for our defense, who would you want on it? Am I assuming people are reinstated? Because if I'm assuming the 2 guys are reinstated, then your NASCAR package is Tank Lawrence, of course, Randy Gregory, Aldon Smith, and the only one up for debate is the 4th one. Whether you want to go, I think I'll go Gerald McCoy, but you could go Gerald McCoy, you could go Tyrone Crawford, you could go Neville Gallimore. I don't think I'm missing any options there. I mean, I guess you could go Jalen Smith. But, yeah, I would go Gerald McCoy and Tank inside, and then Aldon Smith and Randy Gregory outside. Or you had the option of leaving Tank outside and bringing Aldon Smith inside. But either way, I believe that would be my NASCAR go-get-the-quarterback rush package. Sire, C-I-R-E. Jeff, should Dallas even waste a roster space on a fullback? If the team needs a goal line guy, use the bulldozer. Thoughts? This comes down to something I've talked about multiple times as it pertains to different players. The last coaching staff, including the running back coach, loved Jameis Olawale. They were big fans of Olawale. Is the new staff? We don't know. And that's going to be the situation for a lot of players on this team. The old staff had a vested interest in Cheeto and Jordan Lewis and Anthony Brown. Does the new staff? Not really. So we'll see. We'll see what McCarthy and Kellen Moore's plan is. How much does that involve a fullback? I think with a roster that includes Zeke and Tony Pollard, that if I were ever going to have 2 backs on the field, I would rather it be those 2. Because then what you do is you sneak attack people. You got 2 running backs in there. Most teams will probably play that as one is going to be in the backfield and one's going to be out wide, and so you can start playing games. You get in that personnel package, and I would go 5 offensive linemen, Zeke and Pollard, Dak, and your 3 wide receivers, right? Or you can mix it up and throw a Jarwin in there and take one of your receivers off, but that'd be crazy talk. So you got Gallup, you got Cooper, you got Lamb, you got Pollard, you got Zeke, right? 2 running backs are on the field. And the defense, how are you going to defend that? The way that most people would defend 2 running backs, they may stay with base defense. They may run the nickel and bring in a 5th DB. But unless they bring in 6 DBs, you can find mismatches because you can go 5 wide. And it's like, oh, no, I thought they were running backs. No, buddy. They're both in the slot. One of them's out wide. One's in the slot. We're all over the place. What are you going to do? We're motioning them both into the backfield now. And, oh, my God, it could be a running play either direction. Is Zeke going to lead block? What's going on? Whee! So that's how I would use 2 running backs. I would not have a fullback on the roster. Will they keep Olawale around? They might. I don't know how the new staff feels about him. We'll see. Can you break down who will be starting at right end next season from William? Gregory's the wild card. But I guess I wouldn't project him to be the starter anyway. If I had to guess today who's the starting right defensive end, I'm going to guess Tyrone Crawford. I'll guess that you got Crawford at right end, McCoy and Poe at the D-tackle spots, and Tank Lawrence at the other end. That's my guess. Old staff would have loved to have a Gumby-type pass rusher on the right side there. And Randy Gregory can do that. Aldon Smith does that differently. So I'm going to pick Tyrone Crawford because I think it's the safest bet. I could see a scenario where that turns into Aldon Smith. And I could see a scenario where Randy Gregory plays a lot of snaps there, but that's pending reinstatement, which we still know nothing about, and we'll find out later. Over-under on Cowboys winning 9.5 games this year. This is from Jeff. On a scale of 1 to 10, rate Jason Garrett versus Mike McCarthy and elaborate if you think Mike is a better coach. Because I haven't covered Mike McCarthy, I have to depend on the things that I do know about him from Green Bay, and I know before the last year or two, he was graded as one of the better play callers in the league by people who do that sort of thing. And I think Jason Garrett's everything was wrong. I think that his philosophy about football is a great philosophy about life, and it's incredibly outdated when it's about football. Well, we're going to execute perfectly, and that's why this play is going to work. That ain't football anymore. Well, as long as these combo blocks work and you two get that double team to get to the linebacker, you guys get that double team and you get to the linebacker, you turn out the end, you catch the backside, we should gain 8 yards on this play. But they're humans. Like, Jason Garrett coaches in a world where his team has the most talent in the entire league. And the best coaches don't do that. Kyle Shanahan's not lining up and imposing his will. It's misdirection. It's finding matchups. And I think Jason Garrett was bad at that. And I think Jason Garrett was so conservative that multiple times he screwed Dak Prescott out of potential wins because it was moving too fast for him. Bad with timeouts. Bad with knowing when to just let your team roll. I think Jason Garrett was probably a net negative on game day, and I'm hoping McCarthy is a net positive, but I'll accept a net nothing. That's fine. Just don't put me at a disadvantage. And I think there's multiple times where Jason Garrett did that. Do you think Donovan Wilson, this is from Daniel, and Luke Gifford will get a chance to show what they flashed last year before getting hurt? They'll get a chance, but again, this coaching staff wasn't here when those guys were brought onto the team. So Luke Gifford on a Garrett team probably has a better chance to make the team and be on the active roster. Donovan Wilson, I think he's in okay shape only because outside of Xavier Woods and Clinton Dix, what do you got? Now, maybe Cheeto's moving over. Maybe somebody's moving over. But you're probably going to keep 10 or 11 DBs. So Donovan Wilson's got a chance to be an active player on this roster. You just got to see what he looks like. I know preseason last year was really encouraging. And we'll see what he looks like going forward. So that'll do it for today. Make sure you're locked into the G-Bag Nation 2 to 7 on 105.3 The Fan today. Get that radio.com app if you want to listen and stream it on your telly. And make sure you're subscribed to the YouTube page and leaving in the comments what you want to talk about tomorrow. I love you. I'll see you on the radio.